Well, I just came back from seeing the 47 Ronin, and let me tell you, it wasn't any good. Oh, man. It's amazing how they can take a legend, a fantastic legend that is the 47 Ronin, and really they didn't need to do anything with it. Not anything. But they decided, you know what it needs? It needs witches and dragons and giants and some random guy full of skull tattoos who's on the movie poster, but honestly is only in the film for all of 5 seconds. I'm not joking on that. And we'll put Keanu Reeves in it as this half-British, half-Asian guy who doesn't belong, but will find his place among the people, and blah, 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 blah. And oh my God, what were they fucking thinking? I mean, really, what idiot sat down and said this was going to be great? Well, apparently Chris Morgan, and I'm probably pronouncing this wrong, Heishoen Ami, and I'm pronouncing that wrong. I know I am, and I'm probably going to pronounce a lot of names wrong here. My apologies, I'm horrible at pronunciation. Thought that it was going to be a good one, and they decided to write it. Oh, God. Really. I don't understand what their idea was here. If they just stuck to the original story, this movie would have been a box office hit. But now it's a box office bomb, both critically and so far financially. According to the box office budget here on Wikipedia, which again I could be wrong, the budget was $175 million, and right now they've only grossed in about 84 million and a half. My apologies. And that's just to date. And as it says down here in the box office, if I may, the film opened initially in Japan in the first week of December 2013, where it grossed an estimated $1.3 million, opening third behind the debut of the week, Lupin the Third versus Detective Conan, the movie, and the third week of the Studio Ghibli's film Kayumaya Hime no Moro. I'm pronouncing it wrong. Just say Studio Ghibli film, and that's all you really need to know. Let's see. Variety called the poor Japanese debut troubling, considering the well-known local cast and the fact that the film is loosely based on a famous Japanese tale. The film went on to gross $20 million in its first 5 days of its release in Japan. See what I mean? Opening in 9th place in the box office, it grossed, it grossed $2.3 million for a 5th place debut in the United Kingdom. The film was widely reported as a major financial failure, likely to leave the $175 million financial loss for its studio. And the critical response, it's just been panned. And I'm another one here to say, yeah, there's really nothing much to go to this film. It really just was a bore. Well, not completely. I mean, I'll give the fact that the action scenes were pretty cool, but it was just mindless action mixed in with some, CGI work and a lot of good loose cam to make things disoriented. The background, the cinematography and the visuals on a whole were very beautiful. I'll give them that. The costumes they wore, the sets themselves, the backgrounds, they were either very colorful and vibrant or dark, mysterious. They really got that one down. I'll give them that. That's really one of the only good things about the movie. It was very beautiful. But, like Memoirs of a Geisha, that's really all it had going for it. It looked beautiful, but the rest fell flat. Again, Keanu Reeves as the main character, Kai, was probably one of its many, many bad ideas. That was something that didn't need to happen. So what's the story? I bet you all wondering what to know. Well, the original story of the 47 Ronin, look it up. I would say it here, but it's got nothing to do with the movie. Just the basic plot of the movie is here. The man's master was wronged by a rival lord. They vowed revenge. They got their revenge. That was it. Oh, and by the way, spoilers. Trust me, no worries for spoilers here, because even if I told you the entire film right now, it really wouldn't be a loss. I'd save you guys at least $12 or $20, depending if you're gonna get popcorn and a soda, which you might need. So, I just don't know where to start with this film. I already hit on the only good two aspects of the movie. Everything else just is. Well, I'll say one thing. Keanu Reeves wasn't that bad. I mean, he wasn't his usual kind of self, you know. He did at least put forth some effort. The Japanese cast did a very good job. I really understand that, because I mean they're representing a very cultural legend. I mean, December 14th every year, people go to the shrine of the 47 Ronin and they pray there. You know, it's very big in their it's very big in their culture. And I understand that they would really want to represent. But honestly, did none of these guys really look at this script and go, yeah, no offense, but can we write out the Caucasian guy and, you know, take out all the magic and stuff and just do the film as the legend says, please? I mean, it's just really sad just to see that this film, what it could have been if they just stuck to the original legend and just adding all of the CGI crap in with magic and whatnot. Oh, God. Anyways, well, Keanu Reeves' story, I guess, would be the only difference. So, he was this... They found him after he ran out of this forest. They call him a half-breed. They think he's like some sort of magical demon with powers, which actually he does have, but he uses it all 2 times in the film. And they take him in. They treat him as best as Japanese society would allow. But he falls in love with what was it called again? Hang on. Like I said, this is the problem with the film. It's so forgettable. I actually have to have the cast list and kind of the plot here because I kind of forgot a bit of it. With Mika, the Lord Asano's daughter, the 47 Ronin's master, who they vowed to revenge. He fell in love with her, and she fell in love with him. And, you know, I love how they started this. He ran out of the forest, and the Lord Asano said, was they were talking about, like, you know, how this boy has something special about him, and I'm like, yes, he's the only white guy in this film, and he's gonna save you all, which he basically does. Again, he wasn't needed. And yeah, so this tournament happens where all these lords show up and the Shogun shows up and this rival lord who, I actually loved him. He was funny as hell. Oh my god. I just love it when films make the obvious villain, you know. He was brooding and his castle was dark and darkly lit and all this, and I just love the obvious villains sometimes because they can be so funny. I mean, I love to see a villain in a nicely lit castle, kind of be a nice guy, but he's still mean underneath. I mean, can't we have that? Do we really have to put up like 20 feet sign for the people who watch this movie and go, hey, this guy's the villain right here. This guy, he's totally the villain. I mean, you could have watched the villain in the movie and seen it for yourself, but no, he's the villain. So, yeah, he wants to become Shogun or some shit. I don't know. They barely hinge on that plot, by the way. I mean, they don't even give a plot reason why he wants Asano gone, other than he wants to be the Shogun, I guess. So he hires this witch, and she poisons the master, who strikes the bad guy rival lord in some sort of fit of insanity. And at this tournament, the Shogun showed up, which was this brief little thing which had this giant from the bad guy's side. And best part about him is he's never explained. He's in the movie all of, again, 10 minutes, and when he dies, oh my god, he goes out like such a bitch. I mean, it's so funny when it happened. I was like, what? You build this guy up. He has one fight scene and then he's gone? Oh my god. So yeah, so at this tournament he comes out, but the guy who was fighting for the Asano people was like, he was poisoned by the witch lady too. So Keanu Reeves decided, oh, I'll take him on, and he fights him, and then he gets found out, and he gets beaten because he wasn't supposed to do it. And the funny thing is, that whole scene had nothing to do with the film, except to let, like, you know, everyone know that the girl was, that the Lord Asano's daughter was liked, you know, Kai, that's Keanu Reeves' character. And I was just like, really? It served no other purpose than that. And then, you know, like I said, Lord Asano gets poisoned. He gets to commit seppuku. The Shogun forbids them from, you know, taking revenge. And then, hold on, wait, what's the guy's name? Oshi. Okay, Oshi, the leader of the 47 Ronin. He was I love this. They call him the leader of the 47 Ronin. The main person they should have focused on this movie, but they were more focused on Keanu Reeves. I'm sorry I keep harping on that. Anyways, they throw him in his pit for a year to break his will, but when he comes out, his will is just as strong. So he goes to find Keanu, who was, like, you know, sold to this really cool place. It was kind of like a city of ships in the middle of the water. It was the only cool place. And remember the tattoo guy? I'm even looking at it right now at the poster. He's like this tattoo guy who was on the poster. Again, he's only in the movie for literally 5 seconds, and that's it. He's gone. There was no reason for him to be there. He finds them. He says, "Oh, come on, let's go do it back." And this was actually one of the dumber. This part of the movie, I actually have to say, have sunglasses, because if you see it, especially in the dark theater, when they shoot the guns, they have a lot of pointing at the camera shooting style, and the flashes are so loud, are so like bright, they hurt your eyes. So they gather all the 47 Ronin, and they need swords, and they go to, like, the swordsmith village, and they can't find any. So Keanu Reeves says in his... Keanu Reeves is just basically a giant Deus Ex Machina in this movie. He's like, I know where you can get new swords in that forest you found me in. And it was like, why? I was raised by the mystic people in there, and they'll give you swords, and they gave him swords, and blah, blah, blah. I'll stop talking about the story there. Like I said, if you know the legend, you'll get it. Again, the only thing going for this movie was its visuals and the action scenes, which were kind of cool. Everything else in this movie just kind of fell flat, except for the Japanese actors, who did a really good job. But the plot was just so stupid. They didn't need to add much of anything. The villain had almost little to no motivation. They never explained why he was evil, other than he's the rival lord. Anything else? No need for any of the mystic stuff, which they used very little of, actually. They talked about how the land was, like, filled with witches and giants and dragons, and it was like, yeah, they have, like, all the little scenes to show them in, but that's about it. You know, you think if you're going to take magic and mystical liberties, you would add a little more. You would add more to it. And like I said, people are going to go, wait a minute, what about, you know, the giant creature at the beginning where they got the swords from? Yeah, like I said, that's all in there, but again, it's kind of very few and little bit. It's kind of few and far between. And again, if they just stuck to the original story and just did that, it would have been so much better. It's no wonder this film's got panned by critics and people who saw it. I doubt it's going to make back its budget. I'll be amazed if it does. I hope these, you know, but what else have these screenwriters done? What? You gotta be kidding me. The guy who wrote this wrote the Fast and the Furious Tokyo Drift? Oh, yeah, of course. The guy who writes a Fast and the Furious movie that's in Japan, he must know good about... Oh, my God. I mean, that's all that needs to be said. One of the screenwriters wrote for the Fast and the Furious. What more needs to be said? Don't go see this movie. Wait till it comes and rent it on Redbox or for $3 on Netflix or Amazon or wherever wherever you're going to use it. That's about it. Hell, if you know somebody who buys it, maybe borrow it from them for free. I don't know. This movie is not even a good time waster. It's just there. It's wasted film. So yeah, personally, this movie sucked. It had a few good things, but honestly, save your money for the theaters. Go see Saving Mr. Banks. That's a fantastic movie. And yeah, I'll see you next time I do another review. I hope you all enjoy. Please put comments down below. I'd like to hear what you thought of the movie. And yeah, see you all soon.